What's up everybody, raid testing back on the menu, and today we're taking a look at heroic Fatescribe Roh-Kalo in the new raid Sanctum of Domination. Keep in mind this is not a guide on how to do the fight, and it is very early testing. Things will change, some things aren't working properly, so this is merely to give y'all a taste of what to expect. 3-phase fight, alternating between phase 1 and 2 with a combined last phase. I sense a pattern here, so let's hop into it. Phase 1, for the tank mechanic, you have Heroic Destiny and Burden of Destiny. Heroic Destiny leaves a dot on the active tank, deals a bit of shadow damage every 2 seconds, and after 8 seconds it detonates, dealing around 40k shadow damage to all players, reduced by distance. However, when this goes off, the tank also spawns an ad. This ad fixates on the tank, and if enough time passes or the ad reaches the tank, it will trigger Overwhelming Burden, which is raid-wide ticking shadow damage, around 16k every 2 seconds for 10 seconds. This ad could be stunned, slowed, gripped, etc. You just need to nuke it down. So it's kinda like Cymox's Glyph with a twist. Main raid mechanic here is the Call of Eternity. Targets a few random player, giving them a 20-yard circle around them, and they take ticking shadow damage over 8 seconds. Upon expiration, it deals a large amount of shadow damage to anyone within that circles and leaves an Echo of Eternity on the ground. These echoes will detonate when a new set of echoes spawns. You get 3x Call of Eternity, 8 seconds later they spawn 3 echoes. Next time you get 3 new Call of Eternity, 8 seconds later 3 new echoes spawns and the 3 old echoes detonate. 20-yard range on this explosion and deals around 30k shadow damage to players hit. Fatescribe will also use Twist of Fate every now and then, leaving a dot on several players, dealing a large amount of shadow damage every 2 sec for 6 seconds. And lastly, Fated Conjunction. What is your function? 4 beams spawn on one side of the room and will shoot towards the middle and then outwards from it. Be at the side and be safe. Get hit and take a large amount of shadow damage, and a debuff increasing damage taken from Fated Conjunction by 50%, which lasts for 1 minute. Now for the fun part, Phase 2. At 85, 60 and 35%, Phase 2 will trigger. Boss hops into the middle and knocks players back, and after a few seconds he takes 99% reduced damage. Now, in the center of the room there are 6 rings with runes in them. When this phase starts, the boss will spin these around, and after a few seconds a rune will light up on each ring and a circle. Name of the game, spin the ring until the rune is inside the circle. If an odd number of players stands on top of one of the runes, the ring rotates clockwise. If an even number of players stands on the rune, it rotates counterclockwise. These rings with runes are all different sizes, smallest one in the center of the room, largest one furthest out, and picking the right direction to spin these rings gets more important the larger the ring is, or you might not have enough time to rotate it all the way to get the rune in the circle. You have roughly 50 seconds to do this, and failing to do so in time results in a wipe. On top of this, during all of this, swarms of small ads called Fate Spawn Anomaly will spawn. Needs to be tanked. Good old AoE fest. There's also a ton of orbs swirling around the room called Fate Fragments. If you get hit by one, you take a very big chunk of damage and get stunned for 4 seconds. You could soak these with immunes, AMS, etc. Now, when you manage to realign the runes correctly, Phase 1 starts again. After the 3rd Phase 2, you'll enter Phase 3, which is Phase 1 plus the rings from Phase 2. So you'll have to deal with everything from Phase 1 while realigning the runes. And that's pretty much it. All in all, I'm really liking this fight. I was super worried before testing that the rune realignment was going to be awful, but it really wasn't. Requires coordination and at least 1 player per ring that know what they're doing, so they can call out if they need another player or not, depending on which direction you need to rotate the ring. And the addition of the ads spawning on the tank mechanic makes it a bit more fun than just run away and blow up, because it overlaps with beams and Call of Eternities. You have to react a bit on the fly and decide where to place the ad in regards of raid position, beams and echoes. And the AoE pad in Phase 2 keeps it from getting stale. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this first look. We'll cover all bosses on PTR, and proper guides will be out once the raid is released. Now, I'm streaming all of the raid testing on PTR, so don't forget to check that out whenever there's raid testing announced. Otherwise, I'm also streaming all of our main progression once it's live on Mondays and Tuesdays. If you have any questions at all about this encounter, hit me up in the comments, or become a patron and get access to the Stankie Discord, where you can get help with anything raiding related. Don't forget the usual stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.